it was like a light bulb went in my head, like boom, suddenly everything made sense. I was struggling in pain because so in this video I'll be sharing my postpartum journey and how I recovered from lower back, hip, and leg pain after having my baby. So welcome to my channel. My name is Joyce and I'm a mom who really struggled with lower back, hip, and leg pain in the first year after I had my baby. So I'm very excited to share my story because when I was pregnant and when I became a new mom, I wished I heard more stories like this. I wished I listened to more stories like this because I was super focused on pregnancy, what to expect during the weeks of pregnancy, on baby, what to buy baby, how to swaddle baby, and on labor and delivery, what to expect. And when it came to postpartum, I knew very little. I just knew what happened, in the first week, what to expect. But once the blood stopped flowing and the stitches were healed, I didn't know what else to expect. I just figured my body will heal and I'll be good as new. But little did I know that was not the case. And this is why I'm sharing my story. And just to add one more thing is I understand that each mother's journey is different. Each mother's recovery is different. There are moms who have babies and it's like nothing happened. Their body good as new. And there are moms like me who struggle for months and years even to get that healing, to restore the body. And sometimes, I didn't understand that my body needed a little push. It needed a little effort on my end to get back to the way it was and even stronger than it was. So just to quickly go over my background, I am a mom, like I said. I have a 2-year-old son. I had a smooth pregnancy, as smooth as pregnancies go. But if I had to complain about one thing, it would be sciatica. I had sciatica in my last trimester. It was bearable, but it was painful. So if you don't know what sciatica is, it's a pain that most mothers feel, especially as their baby's getting bigger and the uterus is getting bigger and compresses on the sciatic nerve. And as a result, mothers feel pain around their lower backs, in their legs. And it's just one of those things that comes with pregnancy. It's very common. And for me, if I took a nap, I rested, I was okay. So at 37 weeks, I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. I was ecstatic, full of joy. As a new mom, you don't really know what to expect. You hear the stories about labor, about delivery, and it's just overwhelming. But once I went through the process, and labor wasn't easy, but I was able to deliver my baby. I had a natural birth. Everything went smoothly. I am so grateful, and it was wonderful. So yeah, we went home and officially postpartum started. And I remember the first weeks, it was fine. I healed okay. I was, in good health. My baby was in good health, and I was so grateful. I honestly felt like a weight was lifted, that, I had done this. I'm a mom now. I felt powerful. I felt joy. It was, words cannot explain. So it was such a relief. So then a week passes. I'm healing okay. The stitches are healing. The blood is stopped flowing. I'm sorry, TMI. But this is it. This is postpartum, and this is why we have to share these stories. This is postpartum. It's not pretty. It's a lot, but it's real. So yeah, so a week, 2 weeks passes, and then 3 weeks come around. I am so happy, but then I start feeling pain. Out of nowhere, I start feeling pain around my lower back, in my hip area, and down my leg. A pain that would not stop. You add a crying baby to that, you add sleep deprivation, you add fatigue, and this pain. I was like, what is this? So I go to Dr. Google and, you know, I typed in my symptoms and I find out that sciatica lingers. You know, once you have a baby, sometimes sciatica lingers and eventually it goes away. It's nothing major, just having rest and making sure you're rested. And then I found these stretching exercises I tried doing, but I wasn't getting improvement. So I decided to go to the doctor. I went to an orthopedist and he checks me out. He says, "You're fine." He does an x-ray and says, "Just try to rest." Ha ha ha, with a baby. It's not the easiest thing, but yeah, rest. He gives me ibuprofen and some pain relief gel. It says, try resting, and that's what I do. I go home, I try resting as much as I could. Nothing happens. I take the painkillers, and of course, I don't feel the pain. But once that medicine wears out, the pain comes back as strong as it was. So I tell myself, maybe this is just one of those things I have to deal with now that I'm a mom. Because I've heard so many mothers complaining about lower back pain, hip pain, pain here and there. So I said, okay, this is motherhood. I have to deal with it. Hopefully it goes away. And yeah, so I wait a month, I wait 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 4 months, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 year. I'm still in pain. It has not improved. It has not disappeared. It's still there. I am in pain. This pain was constantly there. When I wake up, it's there. When I go to sleep, it's there. When I sit down, it's there. When I stand up, it's there. It was so unbearable. The only thing I could do to get relief was put a pain relief gel, and that gave me relief, or took ibuprofen. So that's what I used to do. Sometimes I would stretch and it would give me temporary relief, but it never went away. And I was so stressed, you know. It was really hard, to be honest. It was hard because even doing housework was difficult. I could not stand up for more than 10 minutes to mop the floor or cook a meal or even carry my baby. It was a lot. And I didn't know what to do. I was still hoping the pain would go away, but it didn't. It never did. So it got to a point where I felt like I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do. Maybe this is just the price of motherhood that I have to pay. And honestly, I felt something in the back of my head telling me that no, maybe it's not, this is not it. Maybe this pain is not the price of motherhood. Maybe there's something that can be done. So the first thing I decided doing was I booked an appointment and I go back to the doctor. I go see an orthopedist, and this time, look, he checks me out, does an x-ray, says you're fine. And what he does is give me some core workouts. So that's the difference now. You know, now being a year postpartum, the doctor was able to recommend me some core workouts. Looking back, when I first went around 3 weeks, I was very early into postpartum, where it's not very recommended that you start doing exercises until around 6 to 10 weeks after you have a baby, and really depending on how your body feels. And especially if you've given birth by C-section, you just have to be a little careful before you start. And it's important you just have a doctor check you out, see a professional just to help you start. And this is what I did. By me going to the doctor, I was able to get these workouts that I could do. And these were prescribed specifically to me and my needs. This leads me to my second point. I started prioritizing myself. In the beginning, it was about the baby, was baby, 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 and I got burnt out. I was giving without filling myself up. I was not happy. I was angry. I was cranky. I was tired because I never prioritized myself. And it might sound selfish, and to mothers, this may feel selfish sometimes, even when you're doing it, but it's very, very, very important. Very important, especially for new moms. You know, you carry a crying baby all the time, you change diapers, you're nursing, you're doing this. The world revolves around the baby, but it's good to have time to pause and reset. It will give you new strength and new energy in your body. So I highly recommend prioritizing yourself. And for me, I needed extra help around the house in order to do that. So the best thing that worked for me and my family was hiring a nanny. And I understand that, that may not be the option for everyone. But the point is just having time for mama. If it's asking a spouse or a partner to watch over the kids so that you have time, or a neighbor, a trusted neighbor, or a friend, or grandparents, whatever arrangement that will give mama time to work on herself, it's very, very crucial, especially for your mental health and your physical health. To be honest, I needed that. So when I hired the nanny to help out with the baby and to help out with the few things, the things around the house, I started feeling guilty, because I felt like this was my responsibility. I needed to take care of the baby. I didn't need help, but I needed to remind myself that in order for me to to help my body recover, I needed help. And that leads me to my third point, and that is I started to really focus on my core, really focused on restoring my core. So like I said, the doctor gave me these workouts. I started doing them. I started feeling relief. And it was like a light bulb went in my head, like boom. Suddenly everything made sense. I was struggling in pain because I had a weak core. I needed to change that. I needed to strengthen my core. It had done so much for my body, and carrying the baby during labor, during delivery, and now the baby is here. It was tired, it was weak, it was exhausted, it needed to be strengthened again. So that led me to read more about the core, understanding the core. Because at first, I just thought the core was the stomach. And if you ask me what is a strong core, the first thing that would come to mind were chiseled abs and six packs. And that's what I knew what a strong core was. So I had to learn what the core was. I had to learn that it's not just the abdominal area. It's everything that supports, your limbs and your movement. And with these core workouts, they weren't anything aggressive. They were just simple but effective workouts. I wasn't doing any planks or crunches or any of that. And especially if you're rebuilding your core again, it's very important that you start easy, especially after pregnancy, during postpartum. Start easy but effectively. And I remember I'll link her video in the description, because I did her workout every single day in the morning consistently for about I believe a month. And as simple as those exercises were, floor exercises, as simple as those floor exercises were, they were getting the job done. I could feel the strength coming back. I could feel my core again. I could feel the engagement in my muscles, the core muscles, It was just amazing. Amazing. The pain, it started going away. At first it was constantly there, but now there were hours even that I felt no pain. That leads me to my third point. I felt like I needed to become more active. Yes, I was doing core workouts, they were floor workouts, but I needed more engagement in my body. So I started walking. Yes, I started walking, as simple as that. This was, in March, and this is when the COVID-19 situation had started and lockdown was in place. So the gyms were closed. So I needed an activity that would keep me moving. So I chose walking. It's easy, very simple. All I got was comfortable shoes, and I went outside and walked. I started with 20 minutes of walking, half an hour, and then I slowly progressed. I started walking a kilometer every other day, and then went on to walking 2 kilometers, and then 3, 5 kilometers, and then now I'm doing 10 kilometers. And that leads me to my fourth point. I had to change the way I thought of postpartum, to be honest. At first, when I just had my baby, all I could think about was, I need to get my body back. Now that I've had this baby, now that, I no longer have the big belly, I need to work on getting back to those jeans again, fitting into those tops again, and snapping back. So it was pointless if I could fit into my jeans again, but I was still in pain. This mindset shift took me from wanting my body back to wanting my body stronger, and that's where Nakua Imara came from. To be honest, this is the time where I told myself I need to become stronger. I need to build myself up. And Nakua Imara is from a Swahili phrase, my native language, which simply means I'm growing stronger. And that's what I kept telling myself. Joyce, you are growing stronger. With each effort you do, with every workout, with every consistent effort, you are becoming stronger. So when I would go out on those long, tiresome, hard walks that I did, when I was in my 7th kilometer and I was nowhere close to home, I would tell myself, Nakua Imara, I am becoming stronger from this. I am becoming stronger. It's not about getting your body back. It's about getting your body stronger. And that kept me going, to be honest. And I felt like I needed to share this. This is what I need to share. And the reason for the channel name. And then the other thing I had to realize was this is a process. It's gonna take time. It would not happen in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, even 2 months. It's gonna take time. And it did. It took me 6 months. It took me 6 months to start recovering, to get to a point where I am now pain-free. It's now September. I started this in March. Now I can confidently say that I am in no pain. And again, let me say this. Every mother's journey is different. For me, I was able to, do the core workouts, do the running, do the walking, and now I'm strong again. And it's taken me 6 months. For you, it could take much longer time. Recovery is different for different people. And depending on your starting point, depending on how pregnancy went, depending on how labor went, it's different. So, but all I'm trying to say is, if you gotten to a point where you're tired and you don't know what to do, maybe the things I've shared could help you bring a new perspective. Maybe it's you going to a doctor and working with a profession to get you moving again. Maybe it could be prioritizing a time where you start physically working on yourself. So the last thing that sort of brought complete recovery of my pain was changing my walking and standing up posture. I didn't realize it, but I had flat feet, which led to me having knocked knees. And I didn't know this. I've always thought I was walking okay, but apparently this was a problem, because I remember going on those long walks and being in my 7th kilometer and having this pain in the soles of my feet. When you have flat feet, it's that the arc on your foot, it's flat and not carved. So in essence, when it's flat, you're stepping inwards in the inner parts of your soles, and as a result, your hips collapse in from the knock knees, and you're not getting the proper stability, I guess, in your back and in your hip area. And then other muscles tend to compensate, and that causes stress and strain on your back and in your hip and in your legs, and especially your knees. So once I realized that, and once I changed my posture and I started standing up, I guess straighter, my goodness, it was immediate relief. Like the pain completely disappeared. And this is something I never ever realized. And it may not, flat feet may not be a problem to most people. I had flat feet before I was pregnant and I had no pain. But, once I got pregnant, I had bad standing posture. You add the weight, and you know how pregnant women walk like, waddle-legged. You're not in your best posture when you're pregnant. And then you keep that on, and you have weak joints and weak ligaments, and your body's barely trying to support itself, and you add poor standing posture to that. That's a recipe for disaster, and that's what happened to me. So you might ask, like, okay, Joyce, maybe it was just your flat feet all this while that caused you pain. Maybe it wasn't pregnancy. Maybe it wasn't, postpartum at all. It was just your flat feet. But no, I thought that as well. But I realized that I had a weak core nonetheless. So me changing my flat feet with a weak core, with a weak back, I would have still been in pain. It wouldn't be as easy as it was now. After working on my core, strengthening my body, changing this flat feet thing, it was simple. I still had to do other workouts, which I will share, that helped me to strengthen my legs, but the majority of the work was already done, so this was like fairly easy. And changing posture is not an overnight thing. It needs consistent effort and workouts, and strengthening parts that were not as strong as they were. So it's still an ongoing effort. It's still I still need to put in the work. So as of now, I can confidently say that I am pain-free. It took time. It took me over a year to figure out what I had to do. But once I started doing all these things, I have completely gained healing and recovery. And it took time, but I was able to get me here, and I'm so grateful. This is why I am really excited to share my journey, because sometimes we struggle because we don't really know what to do, like I did. I really didn't know I had to do all these things. I just felt like I needed to live with my pain. And the reason I keep saying this is because that's the mindset I had, the mindset of getting my body back, and had no idea that I had to get my body stronger. I had to work on my core. I had to work on strengthening my body again. And by me making these changes, it has gotten me to this point where I am strong again. I am healthier. I am happier. I can take care of my baby and enjoy motherhood in ways that I never thought could happen. So if you've stayed up to this point in the video, I am so glad you did. Hopefully you've gotten one or two things that could help you in your own journey. Maybe you have someone that is struggling, doesn't know what to do. They're a year, 2, 3, 4 into postpartum. Again, as I said, everyone's journey is different, but I am so glad I was able to share my journey, the painful first part of it, and now the more stronger and better and happier phase of postpartum. And this is the reason why I created this channel, to share these issues, to share about postpartum with new mothers especially, because so much effort and focus is placed on baby and pregnancy and labor, and sometimes we don't feel like there is anything beyond that, but there is so much more that a mother needs to do to regain and to build up her body. So I would really encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload videos, different kind of videos, postpartum videos, workout videos, general mommy stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna link down below a few resources that really help me out. So hopefully I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.